If you are learning Portuguese, probably you want to know what is going on in Portugal, you want to know the news, and you want to know what is going on online in Portuguese, in the Portuguese world. So, hola, I'm Sara, I'm a Portuguese teacher, and today I'm going to explain to you a Portuguese meaning, and is related to the Portuguese and Brazilians. It's very interesting what's going on, and it went viral. Everyone is talking about it. Brazilians and Portuguese. And if you are learning Portuguese, you are practicing, you are online, and you see this thing and you don't understand, well, I'm here to help you. I'm a Portuguese teacher, as I said, and this way I'm going to show you, I'm going to explain to you what is actually going on. This is the first video that I do like this, walking, and I like this kind of videos where I'm more relaxed and they feel very natural. I want you to feel like you are right here with me and you're going to have a natural conversation. And that's also for the reason that I don't like to edit that much my videos, because I want it to feel natural, as if you were talking with a friend. And walking like this, not only I exercise, but I can also show you the surroundings. In this case, I'm in a Portuguese neighborhood in the suburbs. So you see how suburbs in Lisbon, nearby Lisbon, look like. So right now, in this moment, this is what you can see. In the suburbs, there are a lot of green area. So it's different from the center, of course. So I was talking about this meme that just exploded. And this meme is about Guiana Brasileira. And there's a couple of layers that you need to know to understand the meme, because it's not just understanding the language. You need to understand the background, the context. There's history involved and a little bit of geography. So Guiana, there are different Guianas, the Guianas in Portuguese. For example, there is a Guiana, the French Guiana. If you look at the map of Brazil, in the north of Brazil, there are different Guianas. And for example, let me cross the street here. Atravessar a rua. Vou atravessar, going to cross the street. And I need to be careful, right? So you see how it is. I think they were nice. Então, so in the north of Brazil, there is different regions. There was, for example, the Spanish Guiana, which nowadays belongs to Venezuela. There's also Suriname. It was also a Guiana, but now it has a different name. And there's the French Guiana, which is part of France. And there was a Guiana, the Portuguese Guiana, which is that territory today is part of Brazil. Why Guiana? There's also English Guiana. I don't know if, yes, English Guiana, people. Guiana Inglesa. Why? Because back in the days, European countries colonized the world, right? So these regions that are in north of Brazil, different countries, colonized countries, called their own regions. For example, France called their Guiana Francesa, French Guiana. And the Portuguese had a Guiana as well, but now it doesn't exist as Guiana Portuguesa. You see, I cough. It's a very natural conversation, as if you were here with me, right? Então, what happens with Guiana Brasileira? If Portugal colonized Brazil and had its Guiana Portuguesa, now Brazil has its own Guiana, Guiana Brasileira. And this that you hear about the Guiana Brasileira is basically Portugal. So the joke is, if Portugal colonized Brazil, now Brazil is colonizing Portugal. And if you know, there are a lot of Brazilians in Portugal. Portuguese kids love to watch Brazilian YouTubers. There's a lot of restaurants in Brazilian restaurants in Portugal, and Portuguese love Brazilian food. There's a lot of things that now exist in Portugal because of the Brazilians that are here, and even in terms of language, Brazilian Portuguese has been influencing Portuguese language. So Brazil, in different ways, influences Portugal a lot. So this is when this joke comes. Recently, Brazilians, started to say that Portugal is actually Guiana Brasileira, and they are, so therefore they are recolonizing, which means they are colonizing again, but instead of historically Portugal colonized Brazil, now Brazil colonizes Portugal. And I don't know if you know, but Brazilians have a very good imagination, a very good sense of humor. They love having fun and being funny. Let me cross the street again. They love to joke, to play around, to do a lot of things. So this is what they did with this meme. They are the kings of memes. They're very good at it. So not only they said that Portugal now is not Portugal anymore, it's Guiana Brasileira, they also made up different names that they could call Portugal, but not Portugal. So for example, Pernambuco em pé. And like, their imagination is very good and they are very, very creative. Brazilians are very, very creative. So one of the names that they are calling Portugal is Pernambuco em pé. Pernambuco is one of the states of Brazil, and geographically it has an horizontal shape. But if you look to the map of Portugal, you'll see that Portugal is vertical, right? So Pernambuco, the state of Pernambuco, and Portugal, they have a similar shape, but Pernambuco is horizontal and Portugal is vertical. So em pé, Pernambuco em pé. Em pé means standing, like I'm right here, right now. I'm here, I'm standing, right? Right now. I'm standing. Standing in Portuguese is em pé. Em pé. So they say that Portugal is not Portugal, it's Pernambuco em pé. It's like the state of Pernambuco, but vertically, as if the country was standing, em pé. So they joke, they made a lot of things. They even created one Instagram account just to talk about this topic, and a lot of content creators started to do content about this, joking, very, very creative. Not only Brazilians, but also Portuguese with a good sense of humor, but most of the Portuguese didn't like it. Of course, it's a generalization, but usually Portuguese are very literal and they are very sensitive, and some of them found this disrespectful and they didn't like it, and they kind of opened a meme war with the Brazilians, which didn't work out because it only made it worse. Of course, it only made it worse. And for example, there are videos explaining how Brazil would invade Portugal and then annex next invade Spain, and then France. Memes about Cristiano Ronaldo being the president of Portugal. People even made AI videos with Cristiano Ronaldo saying that he will be very pleased to be the president of Guiana Brasileira, and a lot of things. The capital of Lisbon, they changed the name for Vitória da Reconquista, victory of the conquest, because there's a city in Brazil which is exactly opposite. Vitória da Conquista, victory of the conquest. I think the Portuguese shouldn't be angry or mad about it, because it's just a joke, it's funny, and you need to think that as colonizers, Portuguese did a lot of really bad, wrong things, to say the least. So it's 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 only fair if they are all accountable for what happened. Of course, it's a complicated topic, and it's not going to happen like what Brazilians say, for example, devolve o nosso ouro, give back our gold. This is not going to happen, and well, this is one of the unfair things in life when a country conquers or does something similar to that. It's difficult to come to a point where there is justice. But the truth is, the Portuguese colonized Brazil, and the Portuguese need to accept that this is the fact. They did, as a country, as a nation, really bad things, and that's true. For me personally, I find the meme very funny. I actually play with it, and really funny for me, and I enjoyed watching all those different videos, because it's not just one meme. Different people continue with stories, and they created like a whole new dimension, thinking, oh, who's going to be the president? What are we going to do? Oh, we are going to send these people to Portugal to teach them how to cook feijoada, all these kind of things. So I don't mind. I think it's funny, and life is better when we have fun, but the light is not good, like this way. So let me know if you already understood this, if you know about this meme. This is the first video I do like this on the street, walking. I want you to really show how Portugal looks like, not just the normal places, but also the suburbs and where real people live, real places. And I want you to feel close to me, uh, and you really feel that this is a normal conversation, a conversation that we would have if you were physically here with me, with a friend that helps you understand Portugal, the Portuguese, and the language. Thank you so much for joining me. Comment below what do you think about this topic and this video, and I will see you next time. Ciao, ciao.